Your phone's charged. Your phone's charged.
The hell?
Hey everyone, Ryan Cratch here. Yes, you are looking at a comic book of Shazam. And before I go more in depth with the movie, I just wanted to give you some ideas what this comic book looks like. It's a free book from the theater, and it actually gives some reference to the movie. Actually, it's more of a good reference, actually, because it shows some good photos like this, and you got more right here, which gives you more of an idea what the movie's about. So it doesn't explain a lot, but it does explain what the story's about. So let me go ahead and start my review.
So I gotta say, this comic book is actually pretty cool. Once again, I got this free at the theaters. If you should check your local theaters as well when you go see the movie. Maybe they might have these laying around somewhere. Don't have many comic books, and this is one character I'm not really familiar with, and I'm glad I saw the movie because it gave me the idea who Billy Baxton is, which is Billy Baxton's not him. It is informative because Billy Baxton is the kid, and when he says Shazam, he becomes this. He has all these special powers and abilities to do stuff like fly, shoot things from his eyes probably. And he's kind of like a Flash too, because from a small reference, but not giving anything away, there's a scene when he tries to save somebody, zooms to rescue that person. It's kind of like a Flash. He's also decorated like the Flash too. He's got that red, but he doesn't have that symbol of the Flash in him. But he does represent somebody else, don't you think? Doesn't Superman ring the bell? Yeah. So when I was actually just reading this comic book before I actually was starting to talk to you guys, he is a con artist, kind of, as it is. Because he still has that friend, Freddy. And Freddy does help him out and to try to con his way through his money to help people. So this is a superhero, but it's really a con artist superhero. Does that make sense? And I sense it from the film, which after looking at this comic book and to the relation to the movie, it wasn't really like that, I gotta say. Yes, the attitude who played Shazam, yes, did have the attitude, but if I turn this around, this is who I'm talking about. The one with the bubble gum in his mouth. But I gotta say, he played a really good part. Zachary Levi, if I have it right. And if I have it right, too, he was also the voice in Tangled with the main character. Ryder, is that his name? Yeah, I think it is. It's a superhero that really doesn't care too much. He will help people, but he's got the attitude is there. And you can also see that in the film this as well. So leave some comments down below to tell me what you feel is. You know what? I think I might have some pictures somewhere, but maybe I put this identical to Superman just to show the relation, what they look like. Yeah, they look pretty familiar. But overall, I like the movie a lot. All the laughs are in it. You got the action. It's Shazam with the A in it, which means awesome, which also represents an A for me too, this as well. So this has been a really good, within the past year or so, a really good year for DC Comics, because we just had Aquaman come out. Once I already said that, and Aquaman I really liked a lot. They're really getting there. We need origin stories. DC needs more origins, because when I referred to the Justice League, you only knew very few with this Wonder Woman and with Superman and Batman, but they didn't get much story to the Flash, because from what I know, the next year or two there will be a Flash movie, and then we'll finally be familiar with the Flash. But those who do watch the TV show The Flash like I do, I feel they're doing a good job with the TV show. And I kind of wish they would choose that same actor that's in that TV show just as well, because he's a solid, good Flash. And when I refer back to Shazam here, the cast was amazing. I liked it a lot. And the whole story around it, I didn't even get to the main story about it, because I couldn't show you. I was trying to look for the right pages in this comic book to show you guys the introduction, kind of. But the story is Billy Baxton, which is placed by is the kid format. of this guy. He helps a friend, which is Freddy, by the way, and he gets chases by bullies, and he goes into a subway. But when he goes into that subway, he also some powers are electrifying through the electro system and stuff like that, and brings him to an interesting stop. I got to say, stop to the underworld, like a lair, and he meets a wizard by the name of Shazam. Well, I kind of jumped the gun right there, but what I was gonna say, how he met him was that way. But of course, he has this big scepter sort of thing in his hand, like a powerful wooden. I think a spear is. I don't think it's a spear. It's more like a magic stick. Magic stick is a good one. I like that one. I'll take that one. And anytime if you say his name, you will get his powers. And that's what this movie really refers to, is how Billy Batson takes Shazam's powers, which is the wizard. And so throughout this whole movie, he's got the powers, but there's also a villain he's got to deal with, which is another kid that earlier in the movie, which is the first and opening scene of the movie, there's a kid that also goes to the lair, but the wizard senses something different about this kid and decides not to give him powers. And so because of this, he's in fault of his families for mainly with this car accident that happened in the beginning of the film. And that's just too bad. This kid grows up feeling frustrated. He feels like he's the bad seed in the family. And it just leads up to this. And he becomes the villain of this up to date. And since Billy Batson has now got the powers, he wants to go after him. They get this power from him. So the story is, I pretty much told you the story, but go see it because I strongly do recommend it. It's filled with good action, especially laughter. I like to laugh, and I just feel this is one of the better movies too, because if I were to reference the Deadpool and this one, this is the cleaner version of Deadpool. I did not like Deadpool at all. I didn't think the humor was there. I thought Ryan Reynolds was great. It's just the whole thing I didn't care for. And so I thought I'm kind of comparing that with this one, Shazam. So Shazam. I should just try to get powered, but every time I'm saying that, Shazam. But I'm trying to make the point of this is a cleaner version of Deadpool because the attitude's different too, because Ryan Reynolds brought something to Deadpool. I just felt that one could have been done better. I tell the truth, I don't like the language. I really don't like the violence, but sometimes if it's not as bad, I don't mind. It's just like with Shazam, it wasn't that bad. Most of these comic books can get graphic. Yes, I agree with that, but with the Marvel movies, most of those movies are PG-13, and some DC movies have been PG-13. But the first one I'm thinking right away from, I don't think it's DC. I think it's Dark Horse when I think about it, because I'm thinking of the Punisher, and that was graphic, and then that was R-rated. So I just like a cleaner version. I do like action if it's clean and good, like Shazam was. It's a good family film. In other words, it may be rated PG-13, but it's very few language, and the actions there it's not graphic at all. It's a family movie, and I'm gonna say Shazam because if you notice, there's a couple of A's in there, which I'm saying I will give this movie a full grade of an A, even a good solid A, I would say, because I had a fun time at the movies, in other words, and I think the whole theater liked it because they were laughing with it, really having a good time, and I really suggest the movie. Okay, so give me some comments down below and tell me how you feel towards the movie if you actually saw it. If you haven't seen it, I hope you do see it, because if you do like these comic book movies coming to the theaters, this is a good one for you. Okay, so I'm going to start wrapping this up and saying my name is Ryan Kretsch, and I'll see you at the movies next time. Thank you for watching. Make sure to give me those thumbs up and subscribe.
But I don't know your name, sir.
Shazam.
Are you for real? Say, okay! Shazam?
I'm bulletproof.
You're dead.
Sorry about your window, but you're welcome for not getting robbed.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm a superhero.